Hello YouTube fam, welcome back to my channel. This is Sim and Stitches. On today's tutorial, we are going to be making a lacing for your corset. I'll teach you how to make lacing for your corset. So I'm going to be using my boning, my fabric, and the bias binding. So I'm going to be using the bias binding as a lace. So there are various tools that you can use, but I chose the bias binding because it is easy to access. All right, so what you do is to mark out the inches where you are going to be placing your bias. So I marked it out, giving it 1 inch distance between each of the lacing. So I marked it, giving it the 1 inch distance. That is, from the first one I excluded 1 inch before moving on to the next one. So you go ahead and mark it all the way through to the length of your top. So it could give you up to like 10, up to like, I don't know, it depends on how long the top is. So just go ahead and put the distance like that, so you can see it there. 1.5, rather 1.5 inches. I used 1.5 inches. All right, so after that I proceeded to taking my bias. So I folded the half-inch bias that I have to give me 0.25 inches. That's quarter of an inch. So I folded it. You can see what I just did there. You fold it to give you a tiny, 0.25 inch line. So I went on to take it to the sewing machine and I stitched a straight line all through the bias. So I stitched it all through like that. And then you can also, you can also make use of a fabric. If you want, you can make use of a fabric instead of your bias. Just fold it into 0.25 and then you stitch it and you turn it, iron it. But I'm using the bias, which is much more easier. So I went on to stitch it, and this is what I have here. So this is what I have. So it's very easy to use the bias because it's already tailored in that way. It makes your work faster and neater. All right, the next thing I did was to place the bias that I already made. I folded it, as you can see in that picture. So I folded it starting from the first mark that I have on my back piece. You remember the notching that I did on my back piece to indicate the distance where I'm going to be putting the bias. So I marked it like that at maximum of 1 inch. Just the folding shouldn't be more than 1 inch. So you fold it like that. All right, so after folding, you go ahead and cut out, and then you proceed to repeat the process all through to the length of your top, matching with the lines that you have made. You can see what I'm doing. So you go on like that. You have a replica of this thing that I just made. You have it on and on and on like that all through to the length. So you can see after cutting it, I have like up to like 3 inches. So when I fold it, I have 1.5. I'm going to be stitching half-inch, and then I have my 1 inch interval. So that is what you have there. So you go ahead and make a replica of this to have it cover up for all the notch line that you have marked. Then after that, you can secure it with your pin so that it will just be in position and easy for you when you are stitching. So you can see what I'm doing there. I'm holding it down with my pin. So I did it all through for the entire length of the top. Now I took it to the sewing machine. Since I've already stitched it, it was easy for me to I've already pinned it rather, so it was easy for me to stitch. So I was just removing and running my stitch. So you go on and run your straight stitch on that line, leaving 0.5 inch as your allowance. Don't forget, the allowance that we have here is 0.5 inch. So you go all the way through, run your straight stitch on that line, and ensuring that you double stitch so that each of these piece, that lacing that you have, is well secured. You don't want a situation whereby you are tying it and then it flips up, so it will mess up your work. So ensure that you double stitch and make sure that it is well stitched. All right, so after you have done that, you proceed to fold it in. So I folded it in to give me the room for my casing. So this is just a technique I did on my own. So you fold it in you fold it in to give room for your facing. So this for your boning. So this thing is serving two purposes now. The first one is to give you a finished line, a neat finishing, and then the second purpose is to serve as a casing for your boning. So at the sides of each of these lacing, I'm going to be inserting boning to give it structure and to make it firm. So you two go ahead and do that. Trust me. And with that, you have successfully achieved your lacing for your top. So it's as simple as that. As long as you follow the procedure, it is very easy to do. So the second method is for you to use the eyelet to create a hole inside of your fabric at the back, and then you put the pin and then you cover it up. So that's the second option, but this is the most common one, and that is why I've chosen to teach you how to make this, because it is easy and requires less stress. All right, thank you very much for watching. I want you to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. Guys, please help me, encourage me by subscribing, liking, and sharing my video. I would like to see your opinion about this in the comment section. Thank you very much for staying tuned. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.